just after independence in undivided Andhra Pradesh, those who owned agricultural land were, how do they show how well off they are, how important they are in that area? They had a very interesting way of showing. They didn't show, it's just that they had the number of bullocks you owned, the number of pairs of bullocks you owned. So if you owned 2 pairs of bullocks, you were quite well off. If you owned 4 pairs of bullocks, you were even better off. And a few families owned 6 or 8 pairs of bullocks. So one such family owned 8 pairs of bullocks. So good so far. But one day, one of these bullocks, the animals, they went totally nutty, and the bullock actually gorged a lady in the stomach. The lady was carrying a baby or a 1-year-old boy. Dropped the child, obviously. The lady was taken to the hospital and the lady passed away. And the child lost his mother at the age of 1. This is your story, sir, of an early loss. And from that early loss, you have done whatever you have done, which we can find in not only Wikipedia entries, but in a glorious career you have had. And I don't want to go there today because I think we have lots of speakers, so we'll all talk about that. Sir, I'm sure that will make a good story for your autobiography, which you must write. I've had many experiences with you, but a few I'm going to talk about today, and I certainly don't expect answers for any of those, but maybe one day you will write an autobiography. So this child who lost his mother in these tragic circumstances from this agricultural family, cut to September 20, 2020. To me, that was a very important day in my outlook about you. And maybe you'll answer that question someday in your autobiography. On September the 20th, 2020, the day this House passed the farm bills, you were not on the chair. You were not. Sir, you're the only Vice President who has served 4 terms as a Rajya Sabha MP. You're the only Vice President who has visited every Indian state, all 28 states, including the states in the Northeast. Sir, these we know, but someday you will give us the answers, because when I first came here, you used to sit this side. And I remembered on the 2nd of September 2013, I think your seat was just here. On the 2nd of September 2013, you made a passionate speech on petrol and diesel. So one day you'll tell us in your autobiography, why then? Let's not go there. Sir, on the 1st of March 2013, I remember one more speech of yours. You led the discussion, Mr. Jaitley was that side, and you made an intervention for about 5-6 minutes on phone tapping. We tried Pegasus last few years, but we didn't get a discussion, sir. And you have really given us one piece of advice. Opposition, and government is that talk to each other and solve. I think that's the one take we take away, that you always, in the meetings, you know, sometimes what happens in chambers stays in chambers, but you used to always say, talk. And you would talk in the same tone. You talk to the government, talk and solve. You talk to opposition, talk and solve. And nobody is perfect. You would have tried hard to get our Honorable Prime Minister to perhaps answer one question in your full tenure. That didn't happen. Sir, earlier today, a point was made about productivity in Rajya Sabha. Yes, sir. You are the chairman of the Rajya Sabha. We want to congratulate you. If you look at the productivity numbers and the number of bills passed, sir, you were there. But there's another side to this argument. And as you leave today, sir, we would urge you, because you have at least 20 more years to offer in public life. So these are the thoughts, sir, to urge you, because there's another school of thought who think that Parliament has become a deep, dark chamber. And you've often advised us, send bills to committees, why only 6 out of 10 no, why only 1 out of 10 bills are going. Send bills, scrutinize these bills. And sir, so these are issues which I'm sure you will address, because I know, autobiography or no autobiography, you will speak your mind and you will guide us. Sir, of all the happy things we remember is the great food you served us and the great host you are. Not only you, but I think equal credit should go to Mrs. Naidu. The wonderful, every time you hosted any MP, all of us in the Vice President's house, sir, it was absolutely wonderful. And since I eat mostly non-vegetarian food, that became even better. Sir, we wish you, on behalf of my party, the All India Trinamool Congress, and everybody, we wish you and Mrs. Naidu happy years ahead. And as I remember once mentioned that you are the chief outside, but you have a home minister at home who actually controls whatever is going on. Sir, the Prime Minister very nicely put it in his speech, where he said every word you said is revered and this is preferred. Yes, sir. We'd like to add to that, sir. We wanted you to stay here longer because we hope your going was actually deferred. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, there have been two distinguished Indians who have occupied the position of Vice President and Chairman of the Rajya Sabha, who hail from Nellore district of Andhra Pradesh. The first is a man whose photograph we see every day and whom we take for granted today, but who is one of the great institution builders of modern India, Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan. And the second, to leave a distinctive mark on Indian political life, is Peddalulu, Gauravanilu, Muppavarupu, Venkaiah Naidu Garuji. Sir, 5 years ago, when you took over, you started your innings characteristically by saying, if you cooperate, I can operate. Today, after 5 years of cooperation and operation, it has become a time of separation. And sir, it's a very emotional moment for all of us, because you have conducted this house in a very unusual way. People have praised you for allowing all languages of India to be spoken in this house. That's a remarkable achievement. People have congratulated you for giving youngsters equal opportunity. That is a remarkable achievement. But sir, there are other remarkable achievements of yours which have struck in my mind. You are the only chairman who has adjourned the House while standing up. You are the only chairman who has adjourned the House and as soon as he is sat down. And you are the only chairman sometimes whose decisions have mystified not only the opposition but also the ruling party. So you've been very fair in spreading your largesse, sir. And for that I commend you. Because although you have come from a political party, as president of a political party, you have not allowed that background to influence any decisions you took. And some of your decisions baffled the treasury benches that they came to me to ask me whether I have any inside knowledge of why you took certain decisions. So I think that's a hallmark of a true chairman, that you have treated all of us equally, given all of us equal opportunity, and conducted the proceedings of this House at very tense moments in a spirit of wit and humor. So Derek O'Brien, my friend, was very unkind to you. He reminded you of some of your speeches you made while you were sitting here. So I'm tempted to add to this unkindness, because I remember the 5-hour ordeal that I had to undergo in an argument with you on the 20th of February 2014, when the Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Bill was being discussed on the floor of this House. Yes. And the last word, sir, belonged to you. After the Prime Minister had said that we will give special category status to the state of Andhra Pradesh for 5 years, you got up and said, when our government comes, we'll give it for 10 years. So I'm sorry, sir, that I have to remind you of this promise. But these are, this is part of life. We are here, we are there. Some of us migrate to where you are sitting. And I think it's a remarkable tribute to your skills that you have occupied all positions of this House and other houses. So everybody has remarked about your sense of humor. I know many people with a sense of humor, but their sense of humor is directed at somebody else. You're one of the very few I know who directs his sense of humor at himself. I remember, sir, after 3 terms in the Rajya Sabha in Karnataka, I had a conversation with you. And I said to you, sir, why aren't you coming back for the 4th term from Karnataka? I went to Bangalore and I saw people shouting, Venkaiah Sakaya, which means enough of Venkaiah. And you said to me immediately, no, it is Venkaiah Bekaya, which means we want Venkaiah. And very soon, sir, you came back to this House from Rajasthan. So your sense of humor is directed at yourself, not necessarily at somebody else. And that's why, sir, the other day at your house I remarked, many people aspire to be great in public life, but you have aspired to be good. And you will be remembered long after the great men have been forgotten, because you are a good man, because you've been a kind man, you've been a large-hearted man. Finally, sir, you are moving to one Tyagaraja mark. I want to make a special request to you. You have been a champion of Indian languages. Who is this Tyagaraja? In Tamil, he is Tyagaraja. In Telugu, he is Tyagaraja. Why is he made Tyagaraj in Delhi? This is what Hindi imperialism does. This is what Hindi zealotry does. And sir, when you go to occupy your house, you will find it is not Tyagaraj as one word. Tyag and Raj. Nobody in Raj does any Tyag, sir. It is Tyagaraja. So I hope you will ensure that the name of the house that you will occupy for the next innings of your life will be Tyagaraja Marg and not Tyagraj Marg.
Thank you. Thank you. This has been I'm told that has been there for long. Definitely I will change it, don't worry. Tyagaraja is a great musician. And people in Tamil Nadu, in Telugu and in Karnataka, they love his music. And he's a great man. He's now becoming international also, Tyagaraja. So we will all be remembering Tyagaraja also. I will also try my bit to highlight his contribution to the music world across the country. Humor, I would like to tell you members, before I leave this house at the end of the day or whenever the house is going to be, 10th is my last day. The humor is very much required. If humor and grammar are combined together, grammar means subject, not the English grammar. Humor and grammar is combined, then you will be glamorous. That has to be understood by other people. Humor, grammar, or glamour. Then people will pay more attention to you and they will be able to take you seriously. If you speak in a very serious language, which is not understood by people, only Harvard and Oxford people can understand, then it will not reach the common man. That's why I try to sometimes add lighter one-liners. There are no other intention.